So we're getting a divorce. But who do you girls want to live with? Our oldest daughter, Emily, is the first to answer. I want to live with Dad. What? My husband, Kevin, looks shocked. Then our second daughter, Chloe, speaks up. Me too. I want to stay with Dad. The twins, Lily and Sophie, also say they want to live with him. Kevin looks pale, completely taken aback by what he's hearing. If that's what the kids want, then you'll have to take care of them, I say. My name is Rachel, and I'm 45 years old. I work in an office, and I married Kevin when I was 25. We've had many arguments over the years and even thought about divorcing a few times, but somehow 20 years passed. The main reason we stayed together was because of our children. We have 4 daughters. Emily is in her last year of high school, Chloe is in her second year, and the twins, Lily and Sophie, are in 8th grade. I never expected to have so many kids or for them to grow up so quickly, but they get along well, and Kevin and I have been managing, so I thought we had a happy family. Now that they're older, they can do most things on their own, so I don't have to worry too much. This also lets me focus on my job. We live in a house that originally belonged to my grandfather, so we don't have to pay rent or a mortgage. Since it's a big house, we've never felt cramped, even with all of us living together. These days, my favorite thing is watching my kids grow up. Emily is studying hard for college, so I make her snacks when she stays up late. Now that the kids help with chores, Kevin and I have more time for ourselves. We've started enjoying quiet evenings together, talking about work and the kids' futures while having a drink. Kevin used to have a stressful job with little time off, but he switched jobs a few years ago, and now he hardly works overtime. Though he sometimes has to work weekends, he's more relaxed and smiles more often. Once Emily goes to college, why don't we take a trip? He suggested happily one evening. He cares about our family, and I always thought he was a great husband. This year marks our 20th wedding anniversary. Our daughters have been planning a celebration for us, and I was really looking forward to it. But before that could happen, something unexpected occurred. One evening, while we were eating dinner together, Chloe seemed off. She didn't respond when I spoke to her and looked like she had something on her mind. I figured it was just normal teenage mood swings, but after dinner, I decided to check on her. Chloe, can I come in? Mom? Is something wrong? You seemed a little distracted today. Yeah? I'm here if you want to talk. You can tell me anything. She looked down, and I thought she wasn't ready to say anything yet. I started to leave, but then she stopped me. Wait. I turned back to her. She hesitated before finally speaking. I saw Dad walking with a woman I didn't recognize. What? Maybe it was someone from work. I don't think so. They were holding hands. They were. I was speechless. Was Kevin cheating on me? I had no proof yet, but if they were walking like that, they were definitely close. I'm sorry you had to see that, I said. Why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything wrong, Mom. But it must have been hard to sit through dinner with Dad after seeing that. Yeah, it was. Thank you for telling me. That was really brave. I'll look into it. Okay. I felt terrible for Chloe, knowing she had to keep that to herself. If Kevin was really cheating on me, that was something I couldn't forgive. Talking about a family vacation while sneaking around behind my back, was he just pretending to be a good father? I needed proof, so I hired a private investigator. A few weeks later, I got the results. In the end, Kevin was having an affair. I was completely shocked. Deep down, I had still hoped it wasn't true. When I told Chloe the results of the investigation, she was just as stunned. She had always looked up to her father, so I could only imagine how painful this was for her. I can't believe it, Dad. Mom, you're divorcing him, right? Yes, but I need to talk to all of you first and see what you want. I don't want a dad who cheats on you. Okay, I'll gather everyone so we can talk. It was a Saturday and all the girls were at home. Kevin was out, saying he had to work, but I wasn't sure if that was true anymore. I sat my daughters down and told them about the affair. Their reactions were immediate, shock and disgust. Unbelievable, Emily muttered, looking sick. Even the twins, though still in middle school, understood what an affair was. Do you think I should divorce your dad? All 4 of them nodded. They also said they wanted to stay with me after the separation. With that, there was no reason to stay married. That same day, when Kevin got home, I told him we needed to talk. We sat down in the living room. Before I could even start, he spoke first. I'm sorry. I've been having an affair. What? I blinked in disbelief. You're telling me this now? He hesitated, then dropped another bombshell. She's pregnant. Excuse me, pregnant? I was so shocked I couldn't even react properly. I hadn't expected him to confess, and I certainly hadn't expected this. So, you're saying you want to be with her? Yeah, I'm sorry, Rachel. I want a divorce so I can be with her. You can have custody of the kids. What? Did he really think he could just walk away so easily? His voice sounded apologetic, but his words were ridiculous. You've got to be kidding me. Do you really think you can just do whatever you want? I know, but she's pregnant. That's your problem. You two weren't careful, and now you have to deal with it. That has nothing to do with me. How can you say that? Kevin looked at me with no guilt at all. Anyway, I'm going to be with her, so you think about it. With that, he started packing his bags. Now that he had admitted to cheating, he seemed to have no shame about leaving to be with his mistress. As soon as he walked out the door, my daughter stormed into the living room, furious. But he got her pregnant. I can't believe it. What was all that talk about family? I hate him. My daughters were beyond angry. They had heard everything, and they couldn't believe how selfish their father was. I was just as furious, but then my daughters started whispering among themselves. After a moment, they turned to me with an idea. Are you sure? I asked, surprised. They nodded. I hesitated, but in the end, I decided to trust them. 1 week later, Kevin came back. Are you ready to get divorced now? He asked casually. My girlfriend's pregnant, so I want to marry her as soon as possible. I sighed. His selfishness knew no limits. Fine, let's get a divorce. Great, thanks. Here are the papers. He handed me the documents, and as I signed, I spoke calmly. About custody, I'll let the kids decide. Huh? For the first time, Kevin looked nervous. Well, didn't they say they wanted to be with you? They wouldn't want to stay with a father who cheated and got another woman pregnant, right? Oh, so you do understand that, he muttered, relieved. Okay then, let's call them in. What? I called the girls into the living room. We're doing this now, Kevin asked, looking confused. They already know everything, Kevin, I said. They know you cheated. They know she's pregnant. Kevin looked around the room awkwardly, clearly uncomfortable. I could tell he was nervous about how the kids would react. They sat down, and I asked the question. So we're getting a divorce. Who do you girls want to live with? Our eldest daughter, Emily, spoke first. I want to live with Dad. What? Kevin's face went pale. Our second daughter, Chloe, added, me too. I want to stay with Dad. Then the twins nodded and said the same thing. Kevin looked like he was about to faint. Wait. Why do you all want to live with me? He stammered. Why does it matter? Emily said. We just do. The girls refused to explain, standing firm in their decision. If that's what they want, then you have to take care of them, I said. No way, Kevin muttered, realizing what had just happened. And just like that, Kevin ended up responsible for all 4 of our daughters. Since I owned the house, he had to move out. When Kevin told his new wife, Jennifer, about the kids, she was really upset. But somehow, he convinced her, and they moved into a 4-bedroom apartment with the girls. Kevin and I got divorced, and he and Jennifer had to pay me some compensation. Since Kevin had a stable job, I didn't have to pay child support. The kids stayed with me on weekends, but most of the time, they lived in Kevin's new apartment. 2 months passed, and it seemed like my daughter's plan was working. One day, Kevin and Jennifer came barging into my house, looking exhausted and frustrated. Were the girls always this difficult? They're so selfish. We can't take it anymore. Kevin shouted. Jennifer looked just as upset. They complain about everything. They won't listen to us at all. Inside, I was laughing, but I kept a straight face. What do you mean? They're great kids. When they lived with me, they helped out and never complained. Kevin threw up his hands. Great kids. They refuse to eat my cooking. Their rooms are always messy, and their school fees. The after-school classes, cram school, tuition. It's all too much. I shrugged. That's not my problem. You're the parents now, so it's your responsibility. We had to rent a 4-bedroom place just to fit everyone. It's way over budget. I raised an eyebrow. That's your own fault. Besides, Emily and Chloe share a room, and so do the twins. You two have one, and the baby has another. They originally wanted their own rooms, but they agreed to share. You should be thankful. That's not the point, Jennifer snapped. Look, Kevin, I said, crossing my arms. You're the one who cheated, and with a 20-year-old, no less, only 2 years older than Emily. That's disgusting. You betrayed me, so don't come crying to me now. You have no right to complain. Now please leave. I turned to walk away, but suddenly Kevin panicked. Wait. Please wait. He looked desperate. We can't do this anymore. I want you to take them back. It was clear that Kevin and Jennifer couldn't handle the kids anymore. Well, okay, if that's what you want, I said. I felt bad for my daughters, having to live with someone like Kevin in the first place, but I wasn't going to let him off the hook so easily. You'll still have to pay child support until they're all grown up, I added. What? No way. That's going to cost a fortune with 4 girls. Kevin protested. Well, then they can stay with you. Fine. Kevin had no choice but to agree. But then, out of nowhere, Jennifer exploded with anger. Wait a minute. No. I thought we only had to pay compensation. But now we're broke, and we still have to pay child support. I want a divorce. I refuse to live in debt. What? Hold on. What about the baby? Kevin stammered. There is no baby. Huh. I lied. I only said I was pregnant so you'd leave your wife and marry me. I thought I'd get to live a rich life. But instead, I'm stuck in this mess. This is ridiculous. Goodbye. I never want to see you again. With that, Jennifer stormed out, leaving Kevin standing there, completely shocked. I told him to leave too, but he glared at me, like he wanted to argue. Yeah, that's what I thought, I said. Or should I call the police? Kevin panicked and ran out of the house. Later, I filed the paperwork to officially regain custody of my daughters and made sure Kevin was legally required to pay child support. On top of that, he had to keep paying for his expensive apartment, so money was tight for him. But I didn't care. I was going to make sure he paid every cent. His life was now a struggle, barely getting by each month. Serves him right. When the girls heard about it, they were thrilled. We're going to make you happy, Mom, they said. Hearing that was enough to make me happy already. Being a single mom wouldn't be easy, but with my wonderful daughters by my side, I knew we'd make it. I would work hard to give them a good life and protect them no matter what. Honestly, it's disgusting that Kevin cheated with someone so close in age to his own daughter. But I love how my girls stuck together and stood up for themselves. It felt good to see Kevin and his girlfriend get exactly what they deserved. I hope Rachel and her daughters continue to support each other and live a happy life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.